Hiya, kiddos. Thanks for joining Grandpa Ken and friends again. We're just sitting here and we were all talking about what we wanted to read next. And Benjamin from Pennsylvania told me that he had a great idea because it was one of his favorites. So I said I'd see if I could find it. And son of a gun, I did. So this one's for Benjamin. Benjamin, we're going to read. Yep, you got it. SpongeBob, The Great Escape. Just like you asked. What do you think, Benz? Huh? Let's do it, guys. All right, kiddos, here it goes. Blair, 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 Blair. SpongeBob's alarm woke him suddenly from his sweet dreams. Oh, boy, Gary, it's the day I've been waiting for, shouted SpongeBob. Today is the single greatest day of my career. It's the 117th anniversary of Krusty Krab. I can't be late, he continued as he rushed around his house getting ready. There he is, guys, look at me, just waking up. That's that Blair, 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 that'd wake me up. Yep, oh yeah. When SpongeBob arrived at Krusty Krab, there was a line of customers snaking out the front door for miles. He bounced along on top of their heads. Sorry, everyone, says SpongeBob as he stepped on heads left and right. But Mr. Krab needs me. SpongeBob wiggled his way through the nearly closed front door and landed right in the arms of waiting Mr. Krabs. Today is the big day for Krusty Krab, Mr. Krabs reminded SpongeBob and Squidward. I'm sure Plankton is going to try to steal my secret Krabby Patty recipe. Then Mr. Krabs showed them a map of secret underground tunnels connected to the Krusty Krab. Study this map, stay extra vigilant, and don't fall asleep on the job, Squidward. I even brought in some extra security, he announced, as Patrick appeared proudly. Aye, aye, Mr. Krab, and SpongeBob excitingly. Say, oh no, this was their extra security, kiddos. Do you think they could get in trouble? Yeah, I don't know. Meanwhile, over at Plankton's restaurant, the always empty chum bucket, 1,003 times I've almost had that recipe, and 1,003 times I've failed, cried Plankton to Karen, his computer wife. I give up. Krabs is won. He thought back all the times Mr. Krabs launched him out into the sea for trying to steal his secret recipe. But today, the perfect day to steal the recipe, encouraged Karen. Krabs will be so distracted by all the festivities, you can do it. Look at his wife. She's a computer, huh? What do you think about that one, kiddos? Back at the Krusty Krab, Mr. Krabs gave SpongeBob a very important job, doing the decorations for the 117th celebration. SpongeBob was thrilled. Go ahead and decorate it in any way you want, said Mr. Krab, handing SpongeBob 50 cents. Wow, 50 cents, Mr. Krabs, are you sure? That's double the 116th anniversary decorations budget. Woohoo! SpongeBob was proud to show off his decorating skills, and even prouder to show Mr. Krab his special creation. I now present to you my ode to the Krabby Patty, says SpongeBob, leading the group into the freezer and showing off a larger-than-life Krabby Patty sculpture. Oh, it's made entirely out of ice. Wow, it's exquisite, explained Patrick with a giggle. What do you think? Wow, it's exquisite, huh? SpongeBob is full of surprises. All right, let's get this thing out of here. My customers are waiting, said Mr. Krabs. But as they tried to push the heavy sculpture out into the restaurant, SpongeBob slipped and boink, he bounced off the wall and knocked the freezer door shut. We're locked in, cried SpongeBob after the door slammed loudly. There's only one way out of here, said Mr. Crab, through the air ducts. They tumbled through a maze of air ducts. After several long turns, they finally barreled through a door. Oh, barnacles, grumbled Mr. Krabs. I thought this was the exit, but it's just my surveillance room. Television monitors all around the room revealed crowds of hungry customers getting bigger and louder. We want Krabby Patties, we want Krabby Patties, they chanted. We want Krabby Patties, we want Krabby Patties. Oh no. SpongeBob and the crew went back into the air ducts to look for the exit. At that very moment, Plankton squeezed through a vent from outside of the Krusty Krab and into the air ducts, smashing right into SpongeBob. Why must you always ruin my plans, SpongeBob? Plankton complained. I bet you're trying to steal the Krabby Patty recipe again, aren't you? Asked SpongeBob. Well, what? Okay, fine. You caught me, Plankton replied. All of this reminds me of the time Mr. Krabs first shared the Krabby Patty recipe with me, said SpongeBob. But I don't want to bore you with my silly old stories. Oh, you couldn't possibly bore me, Plankton said eagerly. Well, Mr. Krabs called me in his office. SpongeBob recalled dreamingly. Uh-oh. See his head, he's thinking, here we go. SpongeBob, you've been working here a while now, so I think I can trust you, said Mr. Krab. It's time I told you the Krabby Patty formula. Follow me, we need to go where no one will ever hear us. And so we climbed the rockiest mountains, hiked through the deepest jungles, and sailed the saltiest seas until we finally found the safest place in the world. Then Mr. Krab leaned in close, and he told me I could never share what he was about to tell me with any other living soul. Be careful, SpongeBob. Plankton took out a pen and paper, ready to scribble down the recipe at any minute. Plankton, yelled Mr. Krabs, creeping up from behind, taking advantage of all this reminiscing I see. You'll never get my recipe, not even in a flashback. He knew what was happening in SpongeBob's head. Mr. Krabs picked up Plankton between his fingertips and launched him yet again into the air ducts. We want Krabby Patties, we want Krabby Patties. The hungry customers were getting louder. We gotta get out of here now, shouted Mr. Krab. Then these people want to spend their money in my restaurant. Everyone sighed. They were so frustrated and sick of being stuck in the air ducts. SpongeBob, if you'd never come to Bikini Bottom in the first place, none of this would ever be happening, complained Squidward. SpongeBob remembered when he first arrived at Bikini Bottom. He searched far and wide for the perfect house and finally found it. Home Sweet Pineapple. Oh, Squidward, said SpongeBob, aren't you glad I moved in that day? He asked. If I hadn't, we wouldn't be neighbors, and I never would have met Patrick. What's that? Interrupted Mr. Krabs as he spotted a crumbled piece of paper on the ground. Why, it's an old Krabby Patty wrapper. This takes me back to the old days, he recalled. Back then, Krabby Patties only cost 10 cents. I can't believe how much money I was missing out on by charging so little. He would think of that, wouldn't he? Those were the good old days, said SpongeBob, remembering his very first visit to Krusty Krab. Oh, I can't believe we were missing the 77th anniversary celebration. We've got to get out there. We'll never get out here, grumbled Squidward. Mr. Krabs and Patrick sighed in agreement. They were ready to give up. Never give up. Never give up, right? Look at them. They're all just bummed out. Never give up. We can't give up now, SpongeBob declared. I have an idea for a way out. SpongeBob squeezed each of them into a piece of duck and pushed them through the pipes. Woohoo! We made it out, shouted Mr. Krabs as they burst through the wall into the Krusty Krab, but no one was there. The customers had all gone home. Mr. Krabs began to cry. We went through all that for nothing, muttered Squidward. It wasn't all for nothing. I spent a great day with my best friends, SpongeBob said cheerfully. Then SpongeBob began to sing a song all about how much he loved the Krusty Krab. His tune echoed throughout all the Bikini Bottom. One by one, the hungry customers stopped what they were doing and followed the music all the way back to Krusty Krab. See? Yep. Come on in, people. Let's get some Krusty Krab patties. SpongeBob cheered to the crowd. Meanwhile, Plankton dusted himself off after flying through the air ducts and out a vent. I'm a failure, Plankton cried. But it was Plankton's lucky day. He had landed right beside the bottle containing the secret Krabby Patty recipe. Quickly, he picked up the bottle and carried it towards the front door. At that very same moment, a horde of customers led by SpongeBob bounding through the door, trampling Plankton and knocking the recipe out of his grasp. Look at, oh no. Did somebody order a Krabby? Whoa! called SpongeBob as he slipped on the bottle holding the recipe. The bottle rolled over to Mr. Krabs. What's my secret recipe doing here? Gasped Mr. Krab as he took a closer look. Oh, Plankton, I should have known, he said angrily. He peeled Plankton off the bottle and launched him one more time for all out of the Krusty Krab. Leave it to SpongeBob. Yep. What a day, exclaimed SpongeBob. Happy 70th anniversary, Krusty Krab. And he said as he flipped a patty. Well, there it is, kiddos. And I hope it makes somebody in Pennsylvania happy. Huh, Benjamin? Have a great day, kiddos. Love you. If you want to have me read a story, just have your grown-ups go to ProfessorProfit.com. They can just leave me a note. Thank y'all. You have a good evening.